This is the coolest e-bike I've reviewed. It looks really cool. I love the aesthetics of this bike, but it's also really high quality. It's a ton of fun to ride, and I'll be recommending it to people. But there is one thing about this bike that might affect some riders. So let's get into it and find out whether this is the right bike for you. This is the Tiger MT-20 e-bike from Qiolor, which they were kind enough to send to me so that I could make this review. And of course, the first thing that stands out about this bike is its retro 1950s style, which I think is a piece of art. The battery is cleverly disguised as a gas tank, which is also easily removable, so if you need to, you can take it inside to charge it, or like me, I keep the battery inside during the winter so it doesn't freeze. I also really like that there is a battery level indicator right on the battery itself. So even if the bike is turned off, you can still quickly tell approximately how much battery life you have left. This is available with two different battery options. So you can get it with a 15 amp hour battery that will provide up to 60 miles of range, or you can upgrade to a 35 amp hour battery that will increase the range all the way up to 130 miles. The foam seat is very comfortable, and it's covered with what looks like a faux leather material. This has front fork suspension, which is adjustable with this preload dial on the left and compressed dial on the right. And there are dual rear shocks as well. In the back, it has a 750 watt brushless hub motor, which has easily gotten me up to 28 miles an hour, even while going up steep hills. It has 4-inch wide, 20-inch diameter Innova's Enduring street tires, which are both equipped front and back with dual piston hydraulic brakes on 160 millimeter rotors that provide plenty of stopping power. It has a nice sturdy kickstand, front and back fenders, a headlight, brake lights, turn signals, a horn, and a nice bright display that shows the battery level, speed, trip miles, odometer miles, and a dial that even shows like how much torque, or at least how many watts or something that the motor is drawing. So you can kind of see how hard the motor is working depending on where that little dial is at there. On the side of the display here, they've even included a USB port where you can charge your phone. Now, the phone mount that I have on the handlebars here is not included with the bike, but I will leave a link to one of these in the description below if you want to pick one up on Amazon. This has a twist throttle for controlling the motor speed, and the motor will also just turn on and off when you start and stop pedaling. The hand grips here are also made of a faux leather, and there's a bit of padding underneath that makes them a little bit squishy and pretty comfortable to grip for long rides. And the other thing that's on the handlebars here is this NFC electronic lock. So with the bike, you get two of these little NFC card keys. NFC stands for Near Field Communication. So all you have to do is take one of these and tap it on the electronic lock right here. That will unlock the bike. You'll see the little light turn green, and now you can actually go ahead and power on the bike. Now, the other thing you can do, depending on what phone you have, is actually copy the key onto your card using your phone's NFC capabilities, and then actually use your phone as the key to unlock your bike. Now, unfortunately, I haven't actually gotten this to work. I have a newer iPhone, and I don't know if it's not capable or if I'm just not doing it right, but I haven't been able to get it to actually copy these keys onto the phone, but I know it is capable with a lot of phones. I'm just kind of struggling with it with my phone, but at any rate, these little card keys that come with the bike are simple and they work really well. The center of gravity on this bike sits pretty low, so it grips the road and tracks really well, which makes for a really smooth and fluid ride. And now for that one thing that I think is going to be a determining factor for some riders, and that's the pedal function. This bike is designed to have the motor do most of the work. The seat sits down pretty low, so when you're pedaling, your knees end up being really high in front of you, which just naturally doesn't give you a lot of leverage to pedal. And also mechanically, this bike is just set up to prioritize having the motor do most of the work anytime you're pedaling. there are no changeable gears. So even if you are able to get this going on flat ground, the instant you hit any sort of incline, you're gonna be relying on the motor to do all of the work to get you up the hill. Also, this does not have a torque sensor. So the motor will turn on when you start pedaling, but the motor doesn't follow the speed at which you're pedaling. Instead, it just turns on when you start pedaling, and then it goes whatever speed you have the pedal assist level set to. So at level 1, the motor will be going slower when you're pedaling, and then as you turn up the levels, the motor will go faster. So if you're looking for an e-bike that feels more like a traditional bicycle, but has a motor you can turn on when you need it, this is probably not the right bike for you. But if you want something that feels more like a motorcycle experience while qualifying as an e-bike, that is exactly what this bicycle is designed for. This is like my dream motorcycle, but minus all the things that I don't like about motorcycles. It's silent, so I can enjoy my surroundings and even have normal volume conversations with people that I'm riding with. It's zero emissions, so it doesn't smell like gas and oil and exhaust. So if you need to, you can keep it inside your house without it smelling up the whole place. Well, it's pretty heavy for a bicycle at around 90 pounds. It's still a lot lighter than most motorcycles, making it easier to maneuver. And fourth, and most importantly to me, it's really low maintenance. This bike does have various color options that you can choose from, and there's extra accessories that can be added to it available on their website. If you want to check this out, there is a link for it in the description. You can watch some more of my videos over here, and I'll see you in the next one.